baby boys. These two, very spoiled. Father runs a deli empire in Philadelphia, city of brotherly love. You guys, they get a call. Turns out deli wasn't the only thing he was running. He was running everything else under the table illegally. They're totally inequipped to do this. This lady, Lucky Auntie, is running the show for the big man.
Yes.
Give it up. Discuss. Actually, there's something I want to discuss.
Yes.
You, my friend, this is not that far, the apple not falling far from the tree here. Your dad
is a massive
Houston
cocaine dealer.
And you know what? And his parole comes soon, so we'll talk only well of Uncle. Nonetheless, your father actually did run convenience store. He had a convenience store in Houston?
Yeah.
And you worked in it.
I did, yeah.
So, I mean, for something like this, you always ask actors, like, how did you prepare for the role, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of childhood trauma there?
Yeah, I have been preparing for this role since I was 16 years old. No, when I was a kid, my dad worked at a gas station and then eventually saved up and bought one, but I was too young to work there at the time, so he would have me just like, he called it fronting and facing, where like I would just like front the products, Coca-Cola up front or whatever. The ones that were about to expire, bring them up to the front, put the newly produced ones in the back. And then when I looked 18, that's when I was able to run the register.
Which was 6 months later.
That just happened.
Yeah. Which was when I was 27.
Now, we should point out we have two Marvel alums on stage here.
WandaVision! And the All Along!
Miss Marvel and the Marvels.
Yes. And of course, Poorna was in The Night of.
Yes.
And If I Ever.
Never.
Never.
So close.
And
If I Ever is what we did backstage.
She's about to
It's
be
the
in.
spin-off.
Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Surprise!
So, Deli Boys Season 2 is like an intergalactic, the alternate timeline?
Yeah, it's like a Thanos
Where you guys
kind of
knew that
thing.
Daddy was a drug dealer.
All superheroes.
So let's talk about the Poorna. One of the things about this show is it kind of defines all the genres. I mean, ostensibly we refer to it as a comedy, but let's be honest, there's a lot of killing, there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of screaming, there's a lot of laughs, but there's also a lot of, I don't want to say hijinks ensue, but it kind of goes that way. For you, preparing for this role as Lucky Auntie, how did you get into this role?
I try to look at lots of different references, right? So I looked at mobster documentaries. I'm a huge documentary fan. So I do mobsters. I did there's a gangster in India called Phoolan Devi who was just like vicious. And I tried to look at documentaries of her and nothing was working. I did The Sopranos, I did Barry, and nothing was sticking. And then I was like, hold on, I think The Real Housewives might work.
It's the outfits.
Everything. So I went through all of them, and then The Real Housewives of Orange County were my trial.
Some of them are here today.
And much respect to you.
Yeah, there's like a life and death situation happening in Orange County, whether it's like figuring out where to go for dinner or what outfit to wear. It's like really intense. And there's like, it's the most physical of all the women. Like they go whack, and So that was Lucky Auntie. That's where
Poorna
it came
actually
from.
was extremely physical on set.
I was.
Yeah.
You see it in this clip, but I'm serious. I mean, you mentioned The Sopranos, and I think it's a very strong reference, not just because it's one of the greatest television shows ever, but it's a very strong reference because this is like people who on the surface feels like this is a regular life, right?
Yeah.
And then you peel it away, but as you guys in that clip, I mean, that's one reason why I love this clip so much, because there's a lot of the show, and like there's an apartment upstairs, like there's just like, you guys knew nothing about what was going on in the life of your father.
But these two are such geniuses at improv and physical comedy that the whole show really leaned into that tone, right? So it's absurd and it's physical and it feels like we're clowning all the time, which we were.
Yesterday I was talking to Dennis Leary on stage, and he talks a lot about his show.
I told you not to bring him up during this interview.
You know what? We get paid by the
You know, and me and DL have a big beef.
Big. Because he did play like in Spider-Man movies.
This is the
But he talks about how in Going Dutch and lots of other things he's done, they frame the script around a degree of improv in everything. So it's kind of more like less script, more blueprint, I guess, in a way. And the chemistry you guys have and the background you guys have says, I mean, there's a lot of love here. There's a lot of love, right? Was that something you guys did a lot of?
Yes, it was pretty immediate. You know, usually when you're casting a thing, you know, when they're developing a show, that takes so much time, and then when it comes to casting, it seems
Not now.
Sorry.
It seems like casting is such a short thing. You know, you spend so much time developing a show, and then casting feels like, oh, it's 2 weeks. We need to find people that can seemingly have 8 years worth of chemistry immediately, and so you're taking a real gamble. And we only met on Zoom doing a chemistry read, and then we met on set. So it's like to get there on set and then have everybody immediately get on board and understand what the show is about is a testament to the script. To our producers, and also our just sort of desire of making a show like this work and be successful, because for people that look like us, being the leads of a show is very rare, and we don't take it for granted. Unfortunately, thank you. But this shouldn't be an exception. This should be the norm. So we took it very, heavily, and we really wanted this to work. So every day, it felt like every department and everybody that was on the show, including the guest stars, they got on set and they're like, oh shit, like, you guys are like really going for it. Like Poorna was really going for every single stunt. We were going for it in every opportunity, even like the blood splatter. We're like, put more, dude. Like, how much more can we do? Because we didn't want to leave any stone unturned in making sure that this show, we gave it 1,000%. And I think it
And you guys
shows.
did.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
But also to that point, which is, when we talk about, especially in this Trump 2.0
Jesus.
era, to talk about representation, I know we're going to lose all our funding somehow, I'm sure, but
Oh shit, I just got an
oh,
apple.
look at that, you're welcome.
Yeah.
But in that is, what's interesting about this is a crime, this is a dysfunctional family crime story.
Yeah.
You guys just happen to be South Asian. Like that's a part of how it works, and I think that's very strong. But at the same time, it doesn't deny that. It's like, this is our lives. We live in Philadelphia. We have watches and socks, and we do everything like everybody else does.
Yeah, that kind of specificity to just having a good idea rather than working off of, some sort of weird amorphous thing of like, we need to make something for XYZ community to appease them. Abdullah came in and he was like, I just have this great idea about these idiots that find out that their dad is a drug dealer. So it could have been any ethnicity, but him having his drug kingpin, sorry. But then him putting the Pakistani thing on top of it, and then hiring people in front of the camera and behind the camera that are of that community allows them to be all that specificity. Even when porno is, and we're dropping little Urdu sayings and stuff like that, it just makes everything feel so much more specific and makes the world much bigger. Thank you. I'd like to thank the Academy.
Your character, Lucky Auntie. I always went, do we call her Lucky or Lucky Auntie?
Lucky Auntie.
Lucky Auntie, I know, that's what I think, but then sometimes I see it just accredited as Lucky. She's such a traditional role in many ways that you see this, but she's a she, which is not the role that you usually see in this, and the way she handles this, and the way that she handles these, no disrespect, but nincompoops.
Complete idiots, yes.
We're used to it.
I mean,